What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Summer Career Mode. This is episode number 52, and we're starting today's episode off on the back of our first game of the rebuild era in the January transfer window with a 2-0 win over Spezia. You see, we had a bid here for Salcedo, a youngster who I'm going to keep, and also a bid here from Real Madrid for Çalhanoğlu, who of course transferred from AC Milan to Inter. Çalhanoğlu's past couple of years, man, is quite interesting. I mean, one of the rare players that's transferred from one of the Milan teams to another one directly. But also, Çalhanoğlu left Milan after Inter won the Serie A in that year. And then, of course, AC Milan won it last year whilst he was at Inter. So he could have had two Serie A's had he done it the other way around. Or, of course, stayed with AC Milan and won a Serie A there. In the end, he ended up with nothing, but we sold him to Real Madrid. Ancelotti wanted to make him a new Galactico. I'm totally fine with that. Real Madrid are a far better team than we are at this current point right now, even though we did top them in the Champions League group on their head-to-head record. But no doubt about it. If Çalhanoğlu wanted to go to Real Madrid, he's not getting much game time here, and he's 30 years old, and we're looking for a rebuild. Yeah, just makes sense, really, doesn't it, for the realism? So, Çalhanoğlu off to Real Madrid, and with so much money in our budget right now, just over £160 million, and still a couple of weeks to go before the transfer window slams shut. We got to get some more depth in this team. We just sold Çalhanoğlu. We still don't have a backup right back for Denzel Dumfries, and I decided to make that my first target of today's episode. And there was quite a few names on the shortlist. There were quite a few players I was thinking. João Mario, the Portuguese fullback, was one of my main targets. But in the end, I decided to go for a new Atletico Madrid signing for this season. Diego Simeone has brought in the Argentine Nahuel Molina. I believe he came through the Boca Juniors Academy. Might be wrong about that, but now he plays for Udinese. However, in the game, he's still at Udinese. We've signed Udogie from Udinese, so now we're going to sign Molina from Udinese as well. Now, whether he goes on to be as good as Javier Zanetti was for Inter Milan, for all the years the legend spent at the San Siro playing for Inter Milan, he got his number retired, of course, famously retired. One or two players retired numbers at Inter Milan. Not sure about that, but Molina is a really, really good player, and he's a real Diego Simeone type of player as well. It just makes sense, you know. But for me here, he's going to be my backup right back for Denzel Dumfries. The interesting thing with Dumfries is that I've made him my captain for this season that's coming in, but I don't actually know what his future is, because at the moment, I'm really tempted to play him as a centre-half, because if you look at his stats here, and I have given him a couple of games at centre-back, and he's done really well. In fact, he started centre-half for me when I played Real Madrid in the group stage, and he shut down Karim Benzema. When you look at his stats, he's 6'2", he's strong, he can jump, he's quick, and his defensive stats are brilliant. He actually is better as a centre-half in terms of overall rating than he would be as a wing-back in this team. And then I'm thinking, well, you know, at the moment, left wing-back, DeMarco is our starter, and I was thinking, well, you know, I know we just brought in Udogie, but I wouldn't be against moving him to the left-hand side and starting Molina at right-back or keeping him at right-back. I still don't know. With Dumfries, what I love is the guy can play literally anywhere in this team, in our back five. But with Molina coming in, he's good enough to be a starter in this team. For now, I think I'll have him coming off the bench. I love the high work rate, as you know. I wish his stamina was a little bit higher. It will certainly improve under Diego Simeone, no doubt about that. But even so, Molina's in, and he is now the backup right back for Dumfries. Didn't have one, now we have. But for the first game of today's episode, beat Spezia in the first game of January, 2-0. And we were leading by the same scoreline here in Turin against Torino. But 20 minutes to go, as Damsgaard scored his first for the club, and we were leading by 2 after he and Nunez got a goal each. This was the AI basically saying, Docs, this is how you do it. So I went to the corner. We had 20 minutes to go, yet I was still employing game management because I really wanted back-to-back clean sheets for my new back line. I went to the corner, and it could not have resulted in a worse outcome. Udogie goes down, gets an injury. We're temporarily playing with 10 men. Eventually he's forced off. And at the other end, Torino go to the corner themselves, then work it inside and get a goal back. Fortunately, it proved to be nothing other than a consolation goal. I held on to the ball so well in this game here, and did come through with a 2-1 victory, so I lost a clean sheet, but did get the win back-to-back for Inter. But as you can see, Udogie, playing his first game for the club since coming in, has now dislocated his shoulder. Typical, right? Typical. So yeah, Udogie done for 2 months, but I've only got myself to blame for that. 20 minutes to go, and I'm going for the corner. Like, Come on, man. I know the AI is much more difficult on Ultimate. I know we've been playing really poorly. We had 3 straight defeats, but 20 minutes and you're going to start time wasting? I think I deserve that, let's be honest there. Even so, we did get the win, most important thing, but another injury there this time for Udogi, so we'll have to keep an eye on that, with Mason Mount still down as well. And for the second game of today's episode, now this is a really big one here, midweek, just our back-to-back wins for the first time in a long time. It's at the San Siro. It's Bologna. We drew 0-0 against them here in the league, but this is the cup. Last 16 battle here in Milan. Simply put, could not afford to slip up in this game. We've been asked to win a domestic double and also reach the final of the Champions League. As tough objectives as you can get, almost, for this, our first season in a rebuild era. Are we totally honest here, out of the 3 competitions, this is our best shot of silverware. We've been asked to win a double. I don't think we can do that. Possibly, but I think the Coppa Italia is our best shot out of silverware this season. Because of that, I did field a really strong lineup for the game, taking absolutely no chance, especially after last year of Man City getting knocked out in the quarters of both the EFL and the FA Cup as well. So really strong lineup for the game. Keane scored our opener, lovely team goal as he put us in front by 1 in the second half here in a game where I was pretty much in control from the first whistle. A chance to make it 2. Molina making his debut, chips 1 in. Thomas Muller, bang! First time volley from the veteran. And obviously we are rebuilding here with Inter. So I said before, we do want those young talents. We want to prioritise those young talents and those younger players as well. But, you know, I often talk about it. You still want a veteran. Like, you still want 1 or 2 veterans in your team. And of course, you still got Handanovic and Dzeko as well, who'll most likely stay until the end of the season. But you still do want 1 or 2 veterans, 1 or 2 seniors, 1 or 2 leaders in the dressing room as well. And Thomas Muller is like the perfect veteran we could have here. Bayern Munich legend, model professional. You know, Muller is like one of those players who no one can really think of a bad word to say against. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like N'Golo Kante in a way. Like, everyone loves N'Golo Kante. Everyone seems to love Thomas Muller. And why wouldn't they? You know, he's a really likeable character and obviously a model pro on and off the pitch as well. He scored our second goal. Just like Torino game, we lost our clean sheets towards the end, but still got the win and made it through. Muller's definitely going to stay as well. Obviously, we're culling a lot of our players. We're culling a lot of our players in the 30s as well. You know, Shalanolu has just gone. I got Handanovic on the transfer list. He won't be staying. Dzeko on the transfer list too, as we get drawn against Lazio as well. Obviously, we've already sold Felipe as well. So we sold a few players that are in their 30s and trying to push a few 30s plus players out the door. But I want to keep Muller. You know, Muller as a leader, as a senior pro in this dressing room. That's really invaluable. And obviously, I know it doesn't really mean anything in FIFA CM, you know, to have experienced players, if you will. But I like it for the realistic feel. You know, it's very unrealistic for an entire team to be in their teens or in their early 20s. So yeah, I want 1 or 2 leaders. Muller to me is the perfect fit in this team. You would have seen after the game though, in that one area against Bologna, I started Dumfries as a centre half. So I talked about this earlier. I think for me, I am very tempted to move him in to centre back. I must be honest here. And have Molina as my starting right back. He was pretty solid in that game as well. But I still don't know. I'm still thinking about it because I really like him as an RCB. What you notice with a lot of 5 at the back teams now is that the RCB or the LCB is often a player that's just as adept playing on the wing as a wing back or a full back as they are at centre half as well. So Dumfries as an RCB will be absolutely perfect in this 5 at the back system. But I really don't know. The reason I'm reluctant to do it is because we've already got in Gasparoni and Santoro as 2 great new-gen centre-halves. And I don't know whether you guys are the same as me, but nowadays in FIFA, the best teenage talents I find, new-gen and regen, seem to be at centre-back. I don't know why, but centre-half or striker seems to be the way the best are found. I don't find many full-backs or wing-backs that are really good. And I've still got a few on my shortlist now that are really solid centre halves that are new gen / regen. So for the rebuild, I don't really want to hamper a youngster's development by moving Dumfries into the back 3 when he's just as good on the wing back area. So yeah, even so, won the game against Bologna, Lazio away in the quarter final, and then I did make my second signing of today's episode. So new centre mid coming in, Rossetti. Basically, just want the bodies really. You know, we sold so many players already. There's a lack of depth here now with Inter Milan. Obviously, we've lost Mount. Obviously now we've got Depay, sorry, getting a knock, but he should be okay and would be okay for the following game after this one against Sassuolo here. And also as well, you know, we just seen that Udogie has gone down for 2 months as well. So we need to get a little bit more depth in this team, especially as we're playing Europe right now. But even so, yeah, third game, Sassuolo away, and I felt very confident win this game. And what I was talking about earlier with Denzel Dumfries, so many reasons why I made this guy my captain, and versatility is one of those big reasons. Firstly, in this episode, started right back, then centre back, and then left back. The guy literally played all in our back five in these 3 games, but was sublime in all of them. Got the assist for our third goal here against Sassuolo, 3-0 the final score. Brace for Moise Kean. I said he'd be my main man, he definitely has been, but for Denzel Dumfries, I am so happy I made this guy my captain, man. He's so solid, man. Like, he's so solid. If you've not used Dumfries before, and this is my first time using Denzel as well, the thing you'll be most impressed about when you're using him is his versatility. He's an ultimate utility player. But still, following a win, how about this? 3 straight wins, and then Mason Mount said, I feel like I'm fully fit again, and I really think what I need now is to be out on the pitch. And I was like, Mason, you did your ACL just a couple of months ago. You've still got a whole half a year to go before you're fit. What are you talking about? That is just such a ridiculous bug. Imagine a player coming to you after 2 or 3 months, not even 2 or 3 months, like a month into an ACL injury and saying, yep, ready for me to play now, ready for me to play. What are you talking about? Come on, EA, man. The amount of bugs in this game is crazy. But even so, following the win, as you'd see here, we did decide to sell Donescu to Marseille, one of our 5 goalkeepers we got. We don't need them all, so I'm okay letting that Romanian go there. But also as well, with our third signing, once again, looking for those young talents, looking for those younger players, and also another freebie as well. We signed Rossetti in the centre midfield role, and this is Cesar Lopez, 20 years old, 71 rated, and looks okay to be fair. Unfortunately, like Rossetti, no potential tag whatsoever, but just to fill out the squad with a younger player, that's exactly what I want. Is the rebuild continues with 3 new signings. Long way to go for Inter, but a nice little stretch of form. In fact, our best run, or equaling our best run since we came here. 3 straight wins in a row, through to the quarterfinals of the Cup, and right now in the Serie A as well. Still outside of the top 4 for now. We've closed the gap. We jumped to 5th place. We're only 1 point behind Atalanta and 5 behind Juve. 18 games to go. Back-to-back wins in the Serie A. Still a long way left, but still anything can happen in a crazy, unpredictable Serie A. But that will end today's episode of the Really Summer Career, guys. Big thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and whatever you do, don't miss the next episode. It's absolutely wild. Crazy transfer drama. Have a great day, and I'll see you for it very soon.